Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today I want to talk to you about the latest patch in Battlefield 4. It's the patch we've all been waiting for, the one that is going to improve the network and the lag and the dying behind corners and pretty much everything associated with the netcode in Battlefield 4. Now, it's not going to fix everything. It is, however, going to improve it significantly, and this gameplay here is literally the first time I'm playing with the new patch in a public server. It's a TDM match with 24 players. Overall, my experience seemed to be a lot better. Far less dying behind corners, less kill trades. That's not to say that there were not kill trades. In fact, I did get about 3 kill trades during the time I was playing, so it's really just going to happen less frequently than before. Now, one cool thing DICE did, in addition to releasing the patch notes that were very detailed, they also put together a video showing firsthand the actual improvements of the netcode. They tested the server delay when playing on Battlefield 4 pre-patch, and they showed just how long it took to register player movement, shots being fired, damage being taken, and then they do the exact same test on Battlefield 4 post-patch, and there is a significant improvement being shown there. They say it's 60%. Apparently it was like more closer to around a 40% improvement, but still, that is a massive upgrade in latency. Having a 40% upgrade due to one patch is almost unheard of in any game. I mean, Battlefield 4 was kind of suited to it because the latency was so bad, so a 40% improvement is definitely something that puts it in the ballpark of most other shooters. So back to the specific gameplay that we're watching here. This is a 24-player TDM server. My ping is pretty low, it's around 20, and I was having a very good experience, a very solid experience. I was playing against some decent players too, so I was a little surprised every now and then just getting taken out really fast, but I wasn't finding that I was dying behind corners quite as much. There were a few instances here or there where it was very close, but the thing is you don't get as far behind corners anymore. You don't get like 5-6 feet behind the corner and then get shot by the bullets. So overall, everything felt much snappier. Now, a 24-player TDM server is not necessarily the best test of netcode, especially if you're tripling the amount of data that's going out and being received. That is technically what happened in the last patch. In 24 players, that's still not going to be that much data. What about a 64-player server? Well, I hopped into a conquest game of that and gave it a good test, and the game played really smoothly. Now, there are a few more things changed in this patch that are not exactly netcode related, but they are certainly things that I'm looking forward to, such as reduced explosion camera shake. So this is just that thing where if you're in the middle of a crazy combat scene and the screen is just shaking all over the place and all you want to do is take a shot at something close by and you can't because your screen is wobbling everywhere, you just can't get a good accurate shot off, that has been reduced significantly. You can actually take aim in the middle of crazy combat sequences. Character collision has been improved dramatically. This is basically a situation where you're just running near players and you get this weird kind of juddery effect, like you're somehow colliding with them but not at the same time. This doesn't seem to happen nearly to the same extent that it did before. Also, just moving around the map seems a little bit more precise. It's hard to explain it, but it always felt like in BF4 that you're getting hung up on corners and little bits of rubble. It still does happen, but it just seems a little bit smoother. I have a very hard time trying to explain what the change is, because it's just one of those things that you got to get into the game and experience for yourself. Now, something important to note, the network improvement settings are not going to be enabled by default. So if you install the patch, you start playing, you're like, yeah, this seems alright, but it's not quite as awesome as LevelCap was talking about. Go into the network settings, or into rather the options, go to the gameplay tab, and you'll scroll down, and there is an option that says high frequency network update. You can set that to high if you have a megabyte download and a megabyte upload. That's what DICE recommends if you have at least something that fast. High is what you want for the fastest possible network update, and you should be seeing those improvements. Now, there's a line in the patch notes that says added high frequency bubble updating player movement, stance, rotation, damage, and projectiles at separate rate on foot and in vehicles. This should fix the issue of player models not accurately representing what you're experiencing in the game. You can be getting shot by players that don't have the firing animation going on, that aren't even looking at you, and then their animation seems to like update after you take damage from them. And it's incredibly annoying because target prioritization in Battlefield is all about shooting the guy that's the biggest threat to you, right? You want to kill the guy who is probably going to kill you first. So if you come around a corner and you see two guys, one guy might be facing you, one guy might be facing away, you want to aim for the guy that's facing at you. But if the player models are not updated properly and accurately represented what direction, then this basically took prioritization out of the game completely. So literally this patch is allowing you to play more tactically, which was one of my biggest gripes with BF4, is I felt like I was employing all these tactical decisions and moving around the map intelligently, and then just bullshit would happen and I would die and I would feel like it was all for nothing. Luckily, it looks like it's coming back in a Battlefield 4. You should have a much better experience. I'm not going to say that the game is 100% fixed, because there are still a lot of weird little things, glitchy areas of the game that are annoying and hard to work with, but it is so much more enjoyable now than it was before. Get the patch, let me know what you think. I haven't had the chance to play on console, so I don't really know what the console side of the experience is, but I would love to hear in the comments what you guys think of the console patch. Now, there's certainly a lot of hostility around the patch, lots of comments like too little, too late, and I can understand where they're coming from. I'm certainly a bit pissed off with the whole state of Battlefield since launch. This patch has improved things so dramatically. DICE has said that they're going to continue working on things. This is not like the last improvement patch incoming. And I believe since they're using the Frostbite engine for a lot of future games, it really does make a lot of sense to really analyze and try and get the netcode and everything working as smooth as possible. So I'm just excited to be playing Battlefield 4 with a decent netcode. The past is the past at this point. I just want to play the game and enjoy the game, and I can finally do that for the first time in a long time. Now, in the spirit of not stopping here, what are some of the things that you guys would like to see that aren't necessarily related to the tick rate, but things that could improve the gameplay experience, weird, buggy situations, stuff like that? Personally, I would like to see the false scope sway improved a bit. You'll notice if you put a red dot sight on certain guns, there's just this sort of exaggerated bouncing when you're firing the weapon, giving you a fairly inaccurate sense of what you're actually shooting at. The fail reload animation is still in the game, and that's just so aggravating when you reload a gun and then it doesn't actually reload the gun. There's a lot of other tiny little things, and I would love to hear what you guys think. What are some of the top things you want to see fixed in future patches? As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.